Can I have your attention? This morning before we started, I placed some sheets on your table of those that are delinquent with their anti-vicus dues. And the one I've talked to a lot in here already. If you would take a look at that, those that weren't in here earlier, and contact your members and ask them to please renew. And if you have any for our future members, please make sure you get the applications into Jennifer Norton downstairs. And if you have anybody on that list that's sick, please let Jennifer know and we'll put them on the sick list. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
The meeting of the National Executive Committee is reconvened. The chair now recognizes Patricia A. Harris of North Carolina, chair of the Legislative Commission, for the purpose of a report.
Part because you just came back from eating. What will happen is that bills will start out the way that we like them, in the order, but in order to move them, we'll probably have to make compromises. That's the way the legislative process works when it's functioning. That was a quote from Mitch McConnell. Greetings, Commander Seahafer, national officers, NEC members, past national commanders, and guests. You have my written copy of my report. It is with great pride and enthusiasm that I stand before you as your Legislative Commission Chairwoman. Today marks another exciting chapter in our legislative endeavors where creativity meets collaboration to pave the way for impactful change. I am delighted to have the opportunity to share the latest developments and initiatives brewing within the Legislative Commission. After about 6 months of continuing resolutions, Speaker Johnson and his colleagues agreed on a federal budget in March, and Congress is now working on FY25 budgets for federal agencies. There seems to be partisanship gridlock in in just about every area, but one of a few that remained not so much of a problem. And so they try to cooperate with the business of taking care of veterans. So with our increasing grassroots advocacy and congressional engagements, the voice of the American Legion has been heard loud and clear in the halls of Congress. More Legionnaires have registered with Legislative Action Center and are getting involved with their elected representatives. While we are still not as close to meeting our potential, there has been some improvement compared to last year. So there's still a lot to be done. Your departments have requested grassroots training from the national staff, and the legislative council members in your departments are stepping up to the plate to exert our Legion influence. In March, our national commander delivered a very fiery annual testimony to a joint session of Congress in a room packed full of veterans, and called on Congress to fully fund the VA, pass an annual budget on time to keep the government running, and to take care of our veterans, service members, and their families. And there were even more legislative wins for the Legion and for all veterans this year. Just last month, four Legion-supported bills passed in the House. In efforts to reduce suicide in the veteran community, the Daniel J. Harvey Jr. and Adam Lampart Improving Service Member Transition to Reduce Veteran Suicide Act was passed and will be sent to the Senate for a vote. Other legislation that passed the House includes a bill to restore GI benefits for those who default during a financial hardship, and legislation to increase veterans' economic opportunity and TAP assistance programs. These bills will preserve key veteran benefits. We still have more advocacy work to do on the Hill before this session is over. And for instance, the GI parity bill, and this is the bill that ensures that Guard and reservists receive credit for every day they spend in uniform in a federal duty status under Titles 10 or 32 for GI Bill purposes. We want to ensure that they continue to pay our Coast Guard, and the VET-TAC authorization. VET-TAC allows veterans who are looking to make a career switch to the competitive tech sector to complete needed training to make them eligible for job candidates without having to go through the standard 2 to 4 year training program. So with that, let's rally together and ignite the passion. We should stand tall and celebrate this organization's unwavering dedication to amplifying the voices of our veterans on Capitol Hill. In the words of the great Ronald Reagan, if we lose freedom here, there is no place to go. This is the last stand on earth. So let's channel this energy to drive our initiatives forward, engage in grassroots campaigns, and ensure that we are actively shaping a brighter future for our veterans. And remember, together we can make a lasting impact and honor those who have sacrificed for our freedom. Thank you for your steadfast commitment. I wish to thank our national staff for all of their help. Commander, this concludes my report.
Commander, motion to receive, file,
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file the report of the Legislative Commission with the exception of one addendum. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Mr. Commander, attached to the report is Addendum 1. Pursuant to Rule 8B of the National Executive Committee, I move the list of resolutions with legislative intent be ratified for distribution as part of the legislative program through the 118th Congress.
Motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. Thank you. The chair recognizes David F. Wallace of Virginia, chairman of the Media and Communications Commission, for the purpose of a report.
Commander, members of the NEC, national officers, legionnaires, and friends. The American Legion Media and Communications Commission is confronting a challenging and fast-changing landscape, especially for the American Legion magazine, which indeed remains the best-read monthly periodical for men and is in the top 10 for women of all titles in the nation. Advertising sales into the magazine, however, are running below budget through the June issue. Meanwhile, paper, printing, and postage are all running above budget, even though 12 fewer pages have been published than were budgeted. This is a common refrain across the magazine industry. As traditional advertising revenue streams for the magazine and website have shifted, the Commission has called upon staff to concentrate heavily on media developments and promotions that assist other revenue-generating areas of the organization, as well as those that are housed in the media and communications areas. I want to highlight just a couple of these. One, the April issue of the American Legion magazine featured a cover wrap promoting U.S. flag items for sale through Emblem Sales. Stamped on the cover was a QR code for easy ordering. The result, an all-time record for orders. Emblem Sales reported that in April, boosted by the cover wrap, a total of 451,718 units were ordered. Nearly half of all flag sales for the year so far, and a 3% increase over last April's record month. Multi-year renewal. The division worked closely with membership and marketing to deploy a surround sound campaign to promote the new multi-year option. That campaign has included magazine ads, digital media placements, news articles, and more. The result, as of now, more than 21,000 members have either renewed or joined for the first time using the multi-year option. Number 3, Office of Charitable Giving. Twice a month or more, media and communication staff meets with the Office of Charitable Giving to line out promotions and editorial content for the website and magazine to inform donors about how to make a lasting contribution to the American Legion. This effort has included weekly stories online, advertising and editorial copy in every magazine, impact sheets that appeal to specific donors, and more. The result, a 124% increase in the number of estate planning guides sent to donors year over year, and the rise of a founders level donor recognition that previously did not exist. In addition to these efforts, the division also fulfills advertising and promotions for the organization's most valuable corporate alliances, like USAA, Centene, and IndyCar, which are producing successful results and fulfilling important contract obligations. This is a way where the bottom line is that outside advertising sales into all magazines are declining as companies nationwide invest more and more in digital media. Anymore, it's less and less about selling advertising into the magazines and more about building relationships between our audience and companies that wish to do business with us in print and online. In 2017, the percentage of digital advertising spending in America was 48. That percentage is now 68% and rising. To mitigate some of this, the Commission has called upon staff to conduct an important survey this summer of American Legion digital media audiences. This is a budgeted third-party study to obtain vital information that will help increase ad sales onto the Legion's national digital platforms. This is all part of a refreshed advertising strategy the Commission has called for with staff and the James G. Elliott Company, and is among the top priorities in the 2024 Strategic Plan for Media and Communications. Staff has also been working hard to convert traditionally printed media into more digital online products, such as the newly redesigned annual report. You have a card in your packets with a QR code linking to that report, a project that was led by Associate Editor Laura Edwards and graphic designer Celeste Torek-Lee. The Media and Communications Commission has made it clear to staff, and staff is acting effectively to stay on plan, not only for the Commission, but for the national organization. Top priorities for the organization were recently listed as prevention of veteran suicide, financial stability, membership, and talent management. In addition to the work being done on financial stability and membership, which I have already mentioned, I must commend Deputy Director Henry Howard for his leadership in delivering a multimedia campaign and a new toolkit for local use in support of the Legion's Be the One mission to prevent veteran suicide. One of the things I'd like to make sure that all of you know, every post is going to be receiving one of these cards in mail. It's going to be mailed out next week. It is going to provide the QR code and how to get to the resources that I just talked about. This is a key thing. Please make sure for all of you that you keep track of your respective posts throughout your respective departments in making sure that they're aware that this is coming. So this way they can say, hey, now I know they're getting something in their hands. This work has driven the Legion's top priority to the top of the organization's awareness with stories, videos, podcast episodes, graphics, magazine commitments, and more, in a campaign that is now assembled into a toolkit that I can use that posts can use to spread the word and conduct effective activities locally. In the area of talent management, the Commission has been pleased by the staff's efforts to revive some of its pre-COVID esprit de corps with staff pitch-ins, competitions, outings, work sessions like stuffing Be the One toolkit packages, and more. And I applaud Jeff for this. Being an HR professional is very important to be talking, listening to your staff, and be able to understanding the culture and climate of an organization, especially your staff. In the area of talent management, the Commission the staff is making a point to select service projects throughout the year. Last fall, Media and Communications team members collected comfort items, donated them to Indiana Veterans Home in Lafayette before Christmas. And in April, to celebrate Children and Youth Month, the division had 50-50 drawing for the American Legion Veterans and Children Foundation. I have in this envelope the foundation's 50%, $101. Well, what it was $101. But at our commission meeting, Commander, the entire commission decided to double that, more than double that, to honor the work that everything that our great staff is doing. So I'd like to give to you $238 on behalf of Media and Communications Commission and staff for the Veterans and Children Foundation. Finally, Commander Seehafer and members of the NEC, I would be remiss to note that for the record that the Commission mourns the passing of Doug Malin from New York, past National Commander's aide and longtime Media and Communications Commission member who passed away in December. He was a joy, and inspiration to us and to the staff with his amazing photography skills, humor, and insights. Commander, thank you for allowing me a little more time than usual, but this is a complex period for the Media and Communications Commission, and I want to be as clear as possible about how we are navigating change. This concludes my report.
Mr. Commander, motion to receive and file the report of the Media and Communications Commission. There are no resolutions and no addendum. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file the report of the Media and Communications Commission. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The chair now recognizes Autry B. James of California, Chairman of the Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation Commission, for the purpose of a report.
Good day, Commander, national officers, NEC, and distinguished guests. It is an honor to continue to serve our nation's veterans as the Chairman of Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation Commission. Commander, I truly appreciate the support that you and the American Legion National Leadership and staff have provided to VA&R Division this past year. I have provided a written report of the VA&R Commission activities since fall 2023 NEC meeting, but would like to share a few things outside of that particular report. From April 2023 until March 2024, 706 service officers have completed our service officer training program. 236 of those service officers completed the new suicide prevention module that was included starting in March of 2024. In the same time frame, we've processed 654 new service officer accreditations. We encourage all of you to keep promoting service officer training and accreditation to your respective departments. For fiscal year 2023, the American Legion accredited representatives have assisted in veterans receiving over $18 billion in compensation through initial claims and over $74 million through appeals. We're continuing to focus on reinforcing and strengthening our service officer network. Finally, I have a few reminders for all of you. The Department Service Officer Symposium is coming up in October 20th through the 25th. We will be sending out the nomination forms to department adjutants, service officers, and NECs on May 17th. The nomination form must come through the department adjutant. Additionally, I want to encourage all departments to look into submitting award nominations for VA Physician of the Year, VA Healthcare Provider of the Year, and the William F. Linker National Service Trophy. VA&R staff will send an email to department commanders, adjutants, and NEC members in June with instructions on how to apply. Commander, our committed volunteers and highly dedicated staff are ever present and available to ensure our nation's veterans are getting all the benefits they have earned through their time in service. Thank you for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. This concludes my report.
Mr. Commander, motion to receive and file the report of the Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation Commission with the exception of one resolution and one addendum. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file the report of the Veteran Affairs and Rehabilitation Commission with the exception of one resolution and one addendum. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Resolution number 10, improve the security at Department of Veterans Affairs Healthcare Facility, submitted by the VA&R Committee. Resolved that the American Legion urges Congress to pass legislation to improve security staffing at Department of Veterans Affairs, VA healthcare facilities, to include filling vacant security
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Attached this report. As addendum A, I move the action of the VA&R Commission become the action for the National Executive Committee. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. Next, I'd like to have our chair, or the chair obviously recognizes J.W. Bowen Sr. of Colorado, Chairman of Veterans Employment and Education Commission, for his report. Brother Jay.
Thank you, Commander. National Commander Seehafer, National Adjutant Wheeler, members of the National Executive Committee, national officers, past national commanders, distinguished guests, Legionnaires all. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to address this body on matters concerning veterans employment and education. You have a copy of my written report, which highlights the accomplishments of the Commission and its two committees, the Employment and Veterans Preference Committee and the Veterans Education, Other Benefits, and Homeless Committee. In this report, you will find detailed information on recent work the Commission and committees have done to improve the lives excuse me, of veterans and our active duty service members. Rather than regurgitating the report, I would like to speak on two current issues the Commission is working to improve. On April 22nd, the VE&E Screening Committee met to consider new matters to be brought to the National Executive Committee. From this, we are recommending two resolutions for approval. The resolutions can be found in your packet. The first resolution pertains to military tuition assistance. Following discussions with representatives from the Department of Defense and senior members of various academic institutions, we have determined that tuition assistance must be increased. As it stands, tuition assistance covers $250 per credit hour, not to exceed $4,500 per year. Tuition assistance has not been adjusted for inflation since 2002. While inflation and the cost of tuition assistance continues to rise, and service members are finding it exceedingly difficult to earn their degree while in service. In the last 20 years, the cost of tuition has increased by over 120%. It has recently come to our attention that earning an associate's degree can take 7 to 8 years. The goal of tuition assistance was to prepare service members for transition to civilian life by completing a degree program that would allow them to obtain gainful employment. It has been a vital recruitment incentive since its inception. However, military tuition assistance is becoming less attractive as a result of the increasing cost of tuition and the time it takes a service member to complete their degree. This resolution is designed to see tuition assistance increases to keep up with the cost of tuition today and in the years to come. You'll notice that the resolution does not recommend a specific dollar amount. That was intentional. We want this resolution to be a dynamic document urging the DoD to adjust tuition assistance when inflation and the economy dictates. The second resolution addresses credentialing assistance. Credentialing assistance has been an important benefit for service members seeking an alternative path to education and training. The skills-based training afforded to service members through credentialing assistance has become immensely popular over the past 5 years, as it provides for professional military development and allows the attainment of skills that lead to good-paying, family-sustaining careers. Despite the popularity of this benefit and the opportunity it provides, funding for credentialing assistance is not appropriated. Rather, funding is at the discretion of the respective service branch. Consequently, oversight remains a concern, as the lack of oversight contributes to a scarcity of data on credentialing programs, particularly as it relates to its success rates and outcomes. The goal of this resolution is to see that funding for credentialing assistance is appropriated by Congress. This will ensure the credentialing assistance remains a viable option for service members and that funding for these programs continue and that we receive data on how successful the programs are. The VE&E Commission works tirelessly to see that service members, veterans, and their families have all available opportunities afforded to them. These opportunities were earned through their great sacrifice and commitment to our country, and we will continue to advocate on their behalf. In closing, I'd like to thank each of you for your commitment to service members, veterans, and their families. The work all of you do is vital to seeing our military-connected community is adequately prepared to achieve their goals and aspirations. And I want to thank you, Commander Seehafer, for giving me the opportunity to serve this vital role. I have the honor and privilege of working alongside an extremely professional and talented staff of volunteers. I have gained tremendous insight into this commission. I have learned more than I have imparted. Commander, subject to questions, this concludes my report.
Commander, motion to receive and file the report of the Veterans Employment and Education Commission
With what?
with the exception of 2 resolutions and 1 addendum.
Now it's second. Good. It's been moved and seconded to receive and file the report of the Veterans Employment and Education Commission with the exception of 2 resolutions and 1 addendum. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Resolution number 3, entitled Increasing Military Tuition Assistance, submitted by the Veterans Employment and Education Commission. Resolved, the American Legion urges Congress to expand tuition assistance to adapt for and cover the increasing cost of college, and be it finally resolved that the American Legion urges the Department of Defense to provide further data on tuition assistance usage, including but not limited to degree attainment, time to completion, and completion costs. Mr. Commander, this resolution has the approval of your Commission on Employment and Education and the Resolutions Subcommittee, and I so move for its adoption.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Resolution number 4, title Appropriation of Funding for Credentialing Assistance Programs. Origin, Veteran Employment and Education Commission. Resolved that the American Legion urges Congress to appropriate funding for credentialing assistance as authorized by 10 U.S. Code subsection 2015. Mr. Commander, this resolution has the approval of your Veterans Employment and Education Commission and the Subcommittee on Resolutions, and I so move for its adoption.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Attached to the report is Addenda A. I move the actions of the Veterans Employment and Education Commission become the actions of the National Executive Committee.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any other discussion or any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. Thank you. The chair now recognizes Americanism Commission Chairman Mark A. Avis of Massachusetts for the purpose of a report.
Thank you, Commander. Commanders and members of the National Executive Committee, I am privileged to stand before you and report on the action of your Americanism Commission. Your Americanism Commission is strong, and we are moving forward for this organization and our great nation. Copies of my detailed written report have been distributed for your review, so I'll only brief you on some of the highlights of our meetings. It was a record-breaking year again for the Legacy Scholarship. This year there were 589 Legacy Scholarship applications received as complete. Of those, and remember this number, 505 demonstrated a financial need to be considered by this body for scholarship. It is my honor to tell you that every child that demonstrated need will receive funds to address that need. 11 children of the fallen were awarded, and 494 children of post 9/11 service-connected disabled veterans were awarded. The total dollar amount of the scholarships awarded was $1,779,460. The Americanism... You can thank your Legion Riders for what we're doing in that legacy scholarship. So any rider in the room, thank you, and pass that on to your committee. The Americanism Commission approved the Committee on Youth Education's recommendation that Chad Johnson of South Dakota receive the 2024 American Legion National Education Award. For scouting, Lauren Tyree of Pennsylvania was selected the 2024 American Legion Eagle Scout of the Year and will receive a $10,000 scholarship. They, along with other youth program champions, will be invited to our national convention to speak on the convention stage and represent the success of our Americanism youth programs. Coming before you, this body today, is one resolution for which the Americanism Commission is seeking approval. A resolution titled Adjutants Advisory Board to the Americanism American Legion Baseball Committee. This resolution establishes an advisory board of department adjutants to the baseball committee, having department adjutant input for the committee when considering how to grow the program, where to host regional tournaments, and how to inspire attendance to the World Series in Shelby, North Carolina is a value add. The Americanism Commission thanks this body for considering and approving, hopefully, this resolution. As many of you know, this year will mark the inaugural year of our National Oratorical Contest and Junior Shooting Sports Competition being hosted on the campus of Hillsdale College, Michigan. Oratorical is in 2 short weeks. Your Americanism Commission is incredibly excited about this move, and I want to personally commend the Department of Michigan for their incredible support. They have embraced this move and have helped our national staff every step of the way. Commander and committees of the Member Executive Committee, the Americanism Commission again thanks you for your long-standing support. This concludes my report, unless there are any questions.
Commander, motion to receive and file the report of the Americanism Commission with the exception of 1 resolution and 2 addendum. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file the report of the Americanism Commission with the exception of 1 resolution and 2 addendums. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Resolution number 11, title, Adjutants Advisory Board to the American Commission on American Legion Baseball Committee, submitted by Americanism. Resolved that the National Executive Committee hereby creates an Adjutants Advisory Board to the Americanism Commission, American Legion Baseball Committee, consisting of 3 department adjutants to serve for a term that ends with the close of October National Executive Committee meeting each year following their appointment. This resolution was approved by your Americanism Commission and the Subcommittee on Resolutions, and I so move. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. Pursuant to this resolution passing then, I nominate the following department adjutants to serve on the Adjutants Advisory Board to the Americanism Commission American Legion Baseball Committee. The following are Corey Bates, Rhode Island, Mark Cobble, North Carolina, and David Stein, Virginia. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
attached to the report are addendum A and B. I move the actions of the Americanism Commission become the actions of the National Executive Committee.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. Because we are running ahead, the chair now recognizes Internal Affairs Commission Chairman Robert E. Newman of Indiana for the purpose of a report, which will be followed by Membership and Post Activities Committee.
Commander, thank you for the opportunity to serve as your chairman. Members of the National Executive Committee, fellow Legionnaires, ladies and gentlemen, you have my report of our actions and deliberations before you. The Commission reviewed 9 resolutions, and our recommended action on each is in our report, except for the Distinguished Service Medal, which will be acted upon in executive session later today. Also, thank you for passing the Department Retention Award resolution during the Finance Commission report. We believe this will have a positive impact on membership retention in the organization. As you have heard reports from the different commissions during this meeting, we have a lot of great programs, initiatives that the American Legion is involved in. Because of this, it is vital that we provide opportunities to educate our members on these areas of focus. Last fall, the National Regional Information Conference Ad Hoc Committee was created. This committee has been working hard to institute regional training to start off. We are looking to conduct our first training conference this November and a second one held after the first of the year in conjunction with the American Legion Auxiliaries mission training. We also plan to conduct training during the National Convention. An official announcement will be made once details are finalized. The ultimate goal for these regional training conferences is through American Legion Family Education. We are able to create an environment where the needs of our organization are met and members understand our legacy and prepare them for the future. I would also like to highlight a few of our great programs within our report. First off, the NEF program helped 96 individuals and 11 posts in 2023 for a grand total of $366,572. We have approved 3 grants for individuals this year, but with the recent storms in the South and the Midwest, I imagine there will be more members who will need our assistance. We are well positioned to provide our members, their families, and our posts with immediate assistance in the event of a national disaster. We all know that what great things the American Legion Riders do for developing awareness, and their hard work does not go unnoticed. Last year was a record year for donations during the Legacy Run, with over $1.55 million raised. This year, the Riders are focusing their attention on the Veterans and Children's Foundation. We are excited to see what this year's Legacy Run will do for VCF. I would also draw your attention to the great work the Sons of the American Legion have accomplished, and I commend every department for supporting this program. This past weekend, the Sons collected more than $101,000 in donations during their NEC meetings. Finally, the Operation Comfort Warrior program is dedicated to meeting the needs of the wounded or injured veterans and military personnel. Since its inception in 2007, we have given out over $3.1 million in grants. In 2023, American Legion Charities granted 57 grants for $354,403.78. This program highlights the great work the American Legion does on a regular basis. Commander, I submit my report and our resolutions for the action of the National Executive Committee with my deepest respect and appreciation for the support and encouragement we have enjoyed from this body.
Mr. Commander, motion to receive and file the report of Internal Affairs Commission with the exception of 4 resolutions and 2 addenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file the report of the Internal Affairs Commission with the exception of 4 resolutions and 2 addenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Resolution number 12, title, Authorize Issuance of a Temporary Charter to a Foreign Post, Origin, Membership and Post Activities Committee. Resolved that the National Adjutant is authorized to issue a temporary charter to the following post to be affiliated with the named department. 1. Guadalajara Post LT MX 17, located in Guadalajara, Mexico, and affiliated with the Department of Latin America. Resolution number 12 has the approval of your Membership and Post Activities Committee, your Internal Affairs Commission, and your Subcommittee on Resolutions, and I move for its adoption.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Mr. National Commander, Resolution number 13 in your packet has been pulled by your Subcommittee on Resolutions because of certain deficiencies. Therefore, I move that it not be considered at this meeting and be tabled.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Resolution number 14, title, Support of the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award, Origin, Internal Affairs Commission. Resolved that the American Legion supports and encourages the awarding of the Presidential Medal of Freedom to be presented to Diane Carlson Evans. Resolution number 14 has the approval of your Internal Affairs Commission and your Subcommittee on Resolutions, and I move for its adoption.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Resolution number 15, title, Identifying Ideal Candidate for the National American Legion College, Origin, Internal Affairs Commission. Resolved that the ideal National American Legion College students should demonstrate qualities that can enable them to grow and become effective leaders at all levels within their respective departments, and be it finally resolved that candidates with a desire to serve the American Legion for the next 8 to 10 years in leadership positions at the post, district, and department level would be ideal for the betterment of the organization. Resolution number 15 has the approval of your Internal Affairs Commission and your Subcommittee on Resolutions, and I move for its adoption.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Attached to the report are Addenda A and B. I move the actions of the Internal Affairs Commission become the actions of the National Executive Committee.
Again, motion has been made and seconded. Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The chair now recognizes Matthew D. Jabot of Maine, chairman of the Membership and Post Activities Committee, for the purpose of a report.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
National Commander Seehafer, members of the National Executive Committee, national officers and guests. You have a copy of my written report in front of you. In the written report, you will find updated information on the 95% target date, DMS, traditional recruiting and retention, multi-year, and online renewals. We have some great news we'd like to share with you. The departments of Puerto Rico and Hawaii have surpassed their membership goal as of today. Congratulations to these two departments. I would also like to note that this is the third year in a row that Puerto Rico has surpassed their membership goal prior to this meeting. Our primary focus needs to be on the two areas that we can control. Both Puerto Rico and Hawaii have made these two areas a priority, and those are retention and recruiting. So what can we do to increase our renewal rate and reach Commander Seehafer's retention goal of 90%? This goes back to the 21st Century Ad Hoc Committee report from October of 2019. In it, there were 3 sections, and the committee had put into place with recommended actions under each one. The second section covered membership and member engagement. Communication needs to be a priority when we're engaging with our members. One thing we have done, not only that will help this year, but will make working renewals just a little easier for several years to come. During last spring meetings, the body passed a purchase of multiple years of membership resolution, and I commend you on that. I'm happy to report that as of this afternoon, we have 21,909 members take advantage of this option. This is 1,520 new members and 20,389 who have chosen to renew their memberships this way. And if you notice, that number's a little bit different than the numbers Chairman Gaither gave you this morning, because while we've been in this meeting, we've had an additional 74 people that have taken advantage of that opportunity just while we've been sitting here today. We have been advertising this through the American Legion magazine, on our website, renewal notices and renewal emails, and through Thank You Thursdays. The 2 times the message has been sent out through Thank You Thursday, we have had over 700 individuals purchase a multi-year membership. We need to pass this on to our current members, encourage those who have already renewed for 2024 to use this option and save a little money before the dues increase takes effect. It's real easy to do. The member can go online on our website and just click the renew button. From there, it'll allow them to renew their membership for 3 years. What does this prove? It shows with effective communication and member engagement, the members will respond. What else can we do to increase our retention rate? We have been proactive in engaging our members. Conducting buddy checks on our members is more important than ever. We need to thank them for being a member and show them the value of being a member of this great organization. We must engage them with the great things the American Legion is doing, and it is imperative to share the monthly membership impact report with those members. I say we should actually even take that a step further, and the Post should start creating their own membership impact report based on the activities that they're doing. And how can they do that? Through their own CPR report. Share that with their communities to show the American Legion is an asset to their community. We must continue to make retention a priority, as you all have shown by passing the Retention Incentive Award this morning in any of our membership plans. And that is what our National Vice Commanders have been out doing this past year. They are conducting periodic Zoom conference calls with their regions, with an emphasis on working their respective membership plans with a focus on renewals and recruiting. We cannot wait for membership to just come floating into our posts, and we cannot solely rely on renewal notices to engage our members. Retention of our current members will only get us so far, though, and that is why Commander Seehafer has set a goal to recruit 78,000 new members in the organization this year. As of this morning, we have brought in 68,331. As we bring them in, we need to engage and educate these members on the great things that the American Legion is doing for veterans, their families, and our communities. You may be asking yourself, how do we accomplish this? Many times we are looking for some magic bullet to find the perfect reason for veterans to belong to our great organization, or the Post just becomes complacent and worried about only what's going on within the 4 walls. The real answer in these posts is to have their posts be visible in their communities. Work the programs that make them an asset in their community. It could be a national or a department program, or it could be something the Post has identified that's a need in their community. Whatever it is, we have to rally our members around it like we have done with Be the One. Publicize it in the community, show them how great we are, and make them want to become part of a winning team. Then engage them and ask them to join and to renew. Now, hopefully, we are all well aware by this point of the 21st Century Ad Hoc Committee from 2019, and I cannot stress enough how important it is for us to work towards the recommendations within it and pass that down to our post-level members. The report was developed to assist leadership at all levels in developing and implementing new and refined strategies in order to improve recruiting, engagement of members, and training in a multi-generational service organization. So I encourage you to go back home and continue to work within your respective departments, districts, and posts to get that word out. We cannot lose focus on our mission, and we have to understand the wants, the needs, and desires of our membership base. We must engage our members through effective and timely communication, but leadership at all levels has to be committed and dedicated to training to ensure that this is accomplished properly. Ultimately, we want to strive for every post to be a pillar in their respective community. Lastly, I would like to thank the committee, our director, Matt Herndon, and all of the membership coordinators and staff that have worked so hard to support us and all of your departments during this year. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to address you on matters to membership and post activity, and subject to questions, this concludes my report.
Mr. Commander, motion to receive and file the report of the Membership and Post Activities Committee.
It's been moved and seconded to receive and file the report of the Membership and Post Activities Committee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. The chair now recognizes National Adjutant Daniel S. Wheeler of Virginia for announcements.
Make announcements. What?
Before Mr. Adjutant, 5 minutes. Just stay put for 5 minutes. Should.
All of them. Lauren, what in the hell am I supposed to be doing? Make my announcement. Yeah, you got it now. Thank you. The National Commanders Dinner honoring the members of the National Executive Committee will be tonight at the Sheridan City Center, Indianapolis, with the reception starting at 5:30 p.m., dinner starting at 6:30. This is 30 minutes earlier than usual. Department envelopes containing tickets will be available for pickup in the NEC room lobby outside of this room, in case you don't know what a lobby is, after today's meeting. National Commander C. Hafer. You know, when I was in charge, this was a lot easier. Okay. National Commander C. Hafer, I want to personally thank you for recommending my appointment as National Adjutant to this National Executive Committee. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with you, and I've loved hearing your sermons every time you spoke. Thank you very much. Yeah. Commander C. Hafer, as we have discussed, I have served this great American Legion for nearly 45 years at National Headquarters, and I think it's time for me to step down as National Adjutant, effective at the end of this meeting tomorrow. It has been the greatest honor of my life to be selected to serve in this capacity for the past 15 years, and I want to thank all of you for the confidence you have placed in me. I have many mentors, and I hesitate to try to name them all because I have learned something significant from each of you. However, there are a few significant milestones that I would like to mention. The person who hired me was Bert Davis, National Judge Advocate and publisher. Shortly after I came aboard in 1979, one of the first few Vietnam veterans to serve at National Headquarters, he told me, "You know, young Dan, you are not the best qualified candidate for this job." And so naturally I said, "Well, why did you select me?" He said, "Of the 7 candidates we interviewed, you were the only one that had the courtesy to send me a thank you note." He said, "We value gentility around here." So that is a lesson I have always remembered. The second significant event was when past National Commander Clarence Bacon appointed me publisher and editor-in-chief of the American Legion magazine. I honestly thought that that would be my career for the rest of my life until I retired. But then PNC Bill Detweiler appointed me executive director and later president. What are you doing here? and later president of the Citizens Flag Alliance. And most recently, when PNC Raybon recommended me to be national adjutant, acting upon the suggestion of PNC John Geiger, PNC Dick Pedro, and PNC Jake Comer, who I'm sure told him suggesting Wheeler as national adjutant is only a suggestion, but let's not forget where it's coming from. Along the way, I've enjoyed the wise counsel of many, but especially PNC Paul Morin, Finance Chairman Gaither Keener, PNC Dan Dellinger, and PNC Dan Ludwig, who's the biggest pain in the ass you've ever had as a PNC. I sincerely thank all of those for their mentorship, and much more so for their friendship. There have been good times, and there have been not so good times, some of them right here in this room. But my long-suffering wife, Kathy, has been by my side through it all, and I want to thank her for that and assure her that I love her even more because of it, especially because sometimes I came home less than my usual, even-tempered, lovable self. Yeah. Finally, I want to thank your national staff, which are the best in the business, who have faithfully carried out all of your directives. Among those staff members are many who stand out, but none have worked so closely with me as Mary Rooney. We are fortunate that she's staying on because she is the best of the best. And finally, I want to thank a colleague and friend who I've had the privilege of working hand in hand with for the past 3 years, and that's your Assistant National Adjutant, Rodney Rowland. It's been a fantastic journey. And the memories will last a lifetime. So thank you, Mr. Commander, members of the National Executive Committee, friends and comrades all. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
As a point of personal privilege, I recognize Media and Communications Director Jeff Stouffer for purposes of a presentation.
All right, I think what we have here is we don't roll the screen down, is that right, James? Okay, we have a presentation we want to share with you. I think our folks in the back are ready to go ahead and roll it out. Holly and Red, I hope they're back there getting ready to roll it out. So that's what the presentation is about to appear.
Those were the not-so-good times.
This segment brought to you by the Dark Ages.
Hey, Dan, we need 45 more years.
Well, it worked fine when we were getting ready to post it, and we delivered it up here. But for some reason, there's some kind of a technological snafu. Those who are going to be at the National Commanders Banquet, we'll get that playing, get it operating then. So I'm sorry that we weren't able to get it to show. We worked hard on this, and we're hoping to let you see how this it really comes around well. I apologize for that. We thought we had it all straightened out, so did our best.
Okay, you did good.
It's okay. However, there's some more, Mr. Wheeler. I will now entertain related resolutions.
Resolution number 1. Whereas Daniel S. Wheeler has earned the deep and abiding respect and sustained admiration of all who know of his dedicated efforts on behalf of the American Legion and the America's veterans and their families. And whereas Mr. Wheeler is the architect of the modern American Legion magazine, and whereas for 45 years at the national level, his profound and dynamic leadership has been well known and greatly appreciated by all Legionnaires. And whereas on October 16, 2008, he was appointed National Adjutant of the American Legion and has dedicated over 15 years of outstanding and devoted service in his position. And whereas national commanders have consistently recognized and sought his unique administrative talents and organizational skills, have sought and heeded his excellent advice and counsel in fulfilling the principles and programs of the American Legion, and have recognized and appreciated his passion and dedication to the American Legion and its mission. And whereas precedent has been established to bestow honor hereafter provided upon Legionnaires who have given exemplary service to the American Legion, now therefore be it resolved by the National Executive Committee of the American Legion in regular meeting assembled in Indianapolis, Indiana on May 8, 9, 2024, that the title of past National Commander of the American Legion with all rights and privileges
It's okay.
pertaining to such office be bestowed upon Daniel S. Wheeler in recognition of his extraordinary and unwavering service to the American Legion. And be it finally resolved that the appropriate ceremonies shall be observed and that this honor be conferred upon Daniel S. Wheeler at the completion of his term of office. Mr. Commander, this resolution has the approval of your subcommittee on resolutions, and I so move for its adoption.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. It's pretty good. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Mr. Commander, let the record show it was a unanimous vote
The record will show it. The chair now recognizes past National Commander Jake Comer of Massachusetts to administer the oath of office to Daniel S. Wheeler of Virginia. I'm not sure.
I have had the privilege of swearing in quite a few national commanders, but this is the most memorable. You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Daniel S. Wheeler,
I, Daniel S. Wheeler,
do solemnly pledge myself
do solemnly pledge myself
to perform faithfully and impartially
to perform faithfully and impartially
the duties of the office of past National Commander of the American Legion.
the duties of the office of past National Commander of the American Legion.
I further pledge
I further pledge
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the National Constitution and bylaws
and the National Constitution and bylaws
of the American Legion.
of the American Legion.
I do not subscribe
I do not subscribe
to the principles of any foreign government
to the principles of any foreign government
or group opposed to our form of government,
or group opposed to our form of government.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Commander, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I said that being past national adjutant was the greatest honor of my life. Well, I didn't lie, I was just premature. This is indeed the greatest honor of my life, and I want to thank all of you for making it possible. Thank you very much.
Kathy, will you please present your hubby, PNC now Wheeler, with his new cap?
Hey, Wolfie.
And grandkids,
Wolfie.
children, assist with the name tag, pin, and badge.
Ooh, good boy.
Yep.
Hey, Dylan.
If I stab you, is it a problem?
It's okay.
It's okay, okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, as a point of personal privilege, again, I would like to call on Mary Ludwig, wife of past National Commander Daniel Ludwig, for a presentation to Kathy Wheeler on behalf of the first spouses of the American Legion.
Kathy, it's my pleasure.
You're welcome. This is our latest First Lady. Let's all welcome her.
Any words? Thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, again, as a point of personal privilege, Mary Rooney is presenting roses to Kathy Wheeler for her many years as the National Adjutant's, and I quote, long-suffering wife, unquote. The chair now recognizes past National Commander David Rabine of Iowa for a presentation.
It gives me great pleasure to use these words. Commander, would you join me down here?
Yes, sir.
What I hold in my hands is the plaque that is presented to each national commander as they leave office. I don't know how you can become a past commander and leave office, but it seems you did. Commander, this plaque is not given. This plaque is earned. Through your years of service to the American Legion, you have more than earned this plaque. For each of us that has one of these, we look at them and we remember all of the things, all of the events, all of the memories. I hope you will do the same. I hope you will display this with pride. I hope you will accept this with our great thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'll take it with me.
Maybe. The chair now recognizes past National Commander Daniel Dellinger of Virginia to present the colors to our newest past National Commander.
Commander, it's a great honor that I oversee the next order of business. I call on the NEC and alternate NEC from Virginia to present your national colors. Everyone please rise. Hand salute. 2. Please be seated. Commander Wheeler, your record definitely speaks for itself. Almost 45 years of outstanding and dedicated service to our organization. Your many years of leadership and compassion for our veterans, our members, and your employees as our National Adjutant is unparalleled. Your dependability, creativity, knowledge, integrity, and performing your duties have guaranteed your and our organization's success. It has had an inspiring effect on the performance of those which you have come in contact with and supervised. You have always had the interests of the American Legion at heart, and I know I speak for all of us here, but also all of the members of the American Legion when we thank you for your dedicated service, loyalty, and leadership that has elevated the bar for all that follow. It's been an honor to know you and work with you over the years. I know you will embrace your newly obtained status and continue to serve the American Legion just in another capacity. May God bless you and your family in the future. Everyone please rise. Detail, retire the colors, and salute. 2. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
At this time, I will now entertain any other related resolution.
Mr. Commander. Resolution number 2, title, Daniel S. Wheeler Conference Room. Origin, Subcommittee on Resolutions. Whereas, Daniel S. Wheeler is a U.S. Navy veteran of the Vietnam War. And whereas, Wheeler is a 45-year member of the American Legion. And whereas, Wheeler is the architect of the modern American Legion magazine. And whereas, from 1995 to 2008, Wheeler served as executive director of the Indianapolis office. And whereas, on October 16, 2008, Wheeler was appointed National Adjutant of the American Legion and has dedicated over 15 years of outstanding and devoted service in this position. And whereas, for 45 years at the national level, his profound and dynamic leadership has been well known and greatly appreciated by all Legionnaires. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National Executive Committee of the American Legion in regular meeting assembled in Indianapolis, Indiana on May 8th, 9th, 2024, that in honor of Daniel S. Wheeler's long and exemplary service to the American Legion and America's veterans and their families, that room 301, located in the American Legion National Headquarters in Indianapolis, Indiana, be hereafter named the Daniel S. Wheeler Conference Room, and be it finally resolved that a suitable attesting to this honor be affixed to the door of said conference room. Resolution number 2 has the approval of your Subcommittee on Resolutions, and I move for its adoption.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 2. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. Congratulations, past National Commander Wheeler. You joined the National Staff 45 years ago, giving you the longest combined tenure on staff of any national adjutant. These honors are well deserved. And with that, the floor is now yours.
Mr. Commander, I have one other issue of business. Commander Wheeler, if you'd please join me to the right of this dais here.
On the dais.
Well, not on it. Right here.
Resolution 1 and 2 engraved like the commandment. Yeah, I don't want to fall on my face here. If I'd known this was going to happen, I might have prepared some remarks. All I can say is that it's been great. You know, I came here when I was 32. There were a bunch of old people here that were younger than I am now. I just celebrated my 77th birthday. I think it's time to, as congressmen say who've been caught doing something terrible, I want to spend some time with my family. So I just want to thank every member of the staff who's been so loyal. I want to thank every member of the NEC who's been a friend, a counselor. This is indeed the greatest day of my life, other than the day my wife said, "Yeah, I'll marry you, you rascal." So I just thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
At this time, I would entertain a motion for the NEC to go into executive session. It has been moved and seconded that the National Executive Committee go into executive session. Is there any discussion? Objections? Hearing none and seeing none, motion carries. For the executive session, members of the National Executive Committee who are speaking for their department may stay. Alternates who are not representing their departments as the sole spokesperson on the NEC must leave. Past national commanders may stay. National officers may stay. The chairman of the Finance Commission and the Internal Affairs Commission may stay. All others are requested